Yo, welcome to episode 3 of the scripting series. So in the last episode, the previous one, we learned about objects and we scratched the surface with functions that are related to objects and things like that. Of course, you can go ahead and look more into it, but I'm trying to make this as efficient as you can, since a lot of the learning you'll have to do by yourself actually. But now, I'm gonna make you learn about something else. In this episode, you're gonna learn about UI and how to create UI in Roblox Studio, and how to make a click button that will just print you a message, and then eventually how to make something like this. Let's see it load. Eventually, I'll show you how to make something like this, a shop button that will open and then close a shop panel. Alright, without further ado, we're gonna hop straight into it, and I hope you guys learn a thing or two in this scripting episode. Alright, so we have a new base plate that is opened, and now we are going to start, and I'm going to show you how to create UI in Roblox. So the first thing I'm going to do is think about where do you even create UI. In Roblox Studio, you always create UI in Starter GUI. That is where your UI will be residing. This is where it will exist. So you will click on the plus button, and then you'll go ahead and insert a screen GUI. So I know you can't see this because it's a window capture, but you click on the plus button, the panel will appear, and then you simply go ahead and insert a screen GUI. Alright, cool. Very simple. So what is a screen GUI? The screen GUI is what will allow your GUI to actually appear. Without a screen GUI, your UI will not even actually appear on your screen. So you always gotta insert a screen GUI first. Alright, so we insert the screen GUI. That's good. Now we're gonna click plus again, and you're gonna see all these options, and the first thing we're going to do is insert a text button, because we want a button with text on it. Alright, so then you can customize everything. So let's customize this text button real quick. We're gonna look at the properties. Let's make this background color roughly like this. Alright, let's see. We're gonna look at the font. We're gonna change it to Fredoka 1. Okay, cool. I like this font. Then we're gonna change the text color to white. Okay, that's nice. We're gonna make it text scaled, and we're gonna change the text to shop. Okay, cool. Our button is roughly customized, and if you don't know how to make your button have round edges, it's very simple. You go to your text button and you insert a UI corner, and in this UI corner you can go ahead and put your value to like 17 or something, and as you can see, that made your corners round. Of course, it ranges from the UI. Sometimes it's going to be more than 17, less than 17. It really depends, it's personal preference. In my case, I think this looks great. So now we have a text button. As you can see, we can click on the button and everything. But what do we do now? How do we make this text button actually send us a message and make this text button actually work for us? So that's when local scripts come in play. Usually when you deal with UI, you always want to be using local scripts and not any other types of scripts, not a module script or a script. Usually you use local scripts. Alright, so we're going to insert a local script into our screen GUI. As I said in the first episode, local scripts usually only work and are only situated in either a starter GUI or starter character. Alright, let's insert a local script. And now we inserted a local script, and it's the same deal. Now, our goal right now is to create a button, and we already have the button ready, and the button is inside of this screen GUI. We know the button is named text button, and let's just name it shop button. Now we're gonna access this button. So how do you access this button? First, we could simply make a variable of GUI of the GUI, which is gonna be the parent of the script. So we could do local GUI equals script.parent. Now we know that the shop button is in the GUI, so we could simply do a local shop button equals GUI.shop button. Now we accessed the GUI. Now we have the shop button variable. Cool. Now, as we learned earlier, there are functions allied to some types of objects, and in this case it's the case as well. So we have a function that is allied to shop button, which is a button, a text button to be exact, and this function will actually allow us to detect whether someone is clicking on the button and attach a function to it. Cool. So let me actually switch into a display capture really quickly. Nice. And now let me actually show you how this works. So we can do shop button dot then we see all these functions: change, activated works as well, but what we're gonna do is mouse button went down, fired when the mouse is in the left, mouse down state. Okay, nice. Basically fired when you click. Connect function. Of course, this is fired when your mouse is down, and some people might debate that this is not when you click, it's when your mouse is down, but in this case it works the same. In some other cases, mouse button went down and mouse button went up are combined to create some type of effect. Like if you click, this GUI would scale down slightly, and when you release it would go back to its original state, and it would make this kind of bounce effect when you click on the button, and that would be using mouse button went down and mouse button went up. So now we're gonna make this print: you have clicked me. And let's just hop in the game and let's see if this works out. Alright, click on this and it says you have clicked me. So now this is a local script, as you can see here, and the client, as you can see here as well, and it's in blue. This is different from something that's happening in the server, which would be in a service script. Alright, so this is a local script, something that happens in a client, because you want GUIs to only appear for the client itself and not the whole server. Imagine clicking on a shop and the shop appears for everyone and not only you. That would be a disaster, and that's why local scripts are very important, so things like this don't happen. Now, how are we going to make a frame appear? How are we going to translate that print into a frame appearing? Well, in order to do that, we need to actually create the frame first. So let's go here, create a frame, and let's just roughly make a nice frame here. You don't have to make it fancy or anything since we're just learning, but just for the case of aesthetics, I'm going to quickly make this look at least decent with a UI corner. Make this like 50, and then I can add a text label here with text scaled and text color that's white, and let's remove the background by making it transparency 1. Now we can go ahead, change the font to Fredoka 1 and change the text to shop. Nice. So we got our shop panel ready. That looks pretty good. So now we can name this frame shop panel, and now we can see that there's this property in shop panel. When you select it, that's called visible, and it makes the shop panel visible or invisible. Of course, we want this property to be false by default, so that if you join the game, the panel won't be visible to you. Now let's go to the local script. We're going to be first of all making a variable for shop panel, so go ahead and do that if you can do it by yourself. Alright, I'll get doing it now. Local shop panel equals GUI.shop panel. Great. Now I challenge you to try to do this by yourself. To try to make this panel appear whenever you click. Alright, so we already have the click function. Now all you need to do is make the visible property, this boolean property, true. Alright. So I hope you've done it, and now I'm gonna be doing it. So you could do shop panel dot visible equals true. Alright. So if we do this, that would make the shop panel appear. Boom. Let's see. Boom. We got a shop panel appearing. But a shop panel is not gonna go away, is it? Well, no, it's not gonna go away. So how are we gonna make our shop panel go away? That's a good question. That's using an if statement. That's when really if statements come in handy. So we're gonna say, so I want you to guess how we're gonna use this if statement first. And if you could actually try to do this by yourself, that would be amazing. So I'm gonna continue and do it now. I really encourage you to go ahead and give it a try though. If shop panel dot visible equals true equals, always do double equals, true, then shop panel dot visible equals false. Else if shop panel dot visible equals false, then shop panel dot visible equals true. So that's super simple. You check if shop panel dot visible is true, and if it's true, you're gonna make this false. So if it's already here and you're clicking the button, it's gonna go away. But if it's not here and you're clicking the button, it's gonna appear. You haven't learned about else if yet, so of course if you've tried it by yourself, you might have been kind of confused. To be frank, I don't think the else if is necessary. You could have probably just done else, but else if is just still nice. Boom, boom. And now, as you can see, we have the shop panel that comes and goes, and it looks great. Now, I want to challenge you to now, instead of making this shop panel appear and go away by this button, I want you to make this appear with this button and have an X button here that makes it go away. Now keep in mind, the X button can be accessed from the same local script, and you don't need to make a new local script. Now, if you could do this, it would be very cool. So you know how that means, that would really demonstrate that you have grasped the concept of buttons and properties. Alright, so this tutorial was actually pretty short, only 13 minutes long compared to the last tutorials who were around 20 minutes long. So it was a pretty short tutorial where hopefully you've learned a thing or two about UI and how UI works in general. And I hope in the next tutorials I can show you and make you expand on your knowledge even more. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do for the next tutorials, and if you have any recommendations, please let me know. But without further ado, I'm going to zoom away. Bye!